Hey, what's up, Street Talks? Eric Kim from the Eric Kim Street Photography blog. So, I'm gonna talk to y'all about this notion I have of maximizing all of your creative faculties. So, consider, we're in motherfucking 2020. We're just like, I'm so disappointed in 2020. It's like we've been promised flying cars, and all we have is just like, iPhones. Well, which I mean, are obviously awesome, but the world is still too basic. Why are we still driving petroleum cars, stuck in traffic? It's a bunch of bullshit. But anyways, so I'm just kind of curious, rather than just kind of complaining about life, trying to discover new models and new novel ways we could actually empower ourselves in life. So I kind of have this notion. Maximize all of your creative faculties. Think of yourself like a modern Renaissance person. Let's call it like the neo-Renaissance, right? Because we like the word neo, like tech Renaissance, okay? So this is my notion of the tech Renaissance. Not all of us have the ability or the opportunity to make a billion-dollar company. Some of that takes luck and sometimes a little bit some shady stuff, but what do we have control over? We have control over ourselves, our lives, what we do, what we create, and what we make. So this is my basic notion. If you want to become like a tech renaissance individual, use all forms of technology to empower you to maximally create anything. So even recently, you might have noticed that I've been making like 1 trillion videos every single day. And the reason is, I've actually found that, so in the past, I do a lot of blogging, writing, whatever, but the bit rate of talking and sharing ideas via vlogging is so much more efficient than typing. Because I think I could type like 150 words per minute. I could type real fast, but still I could talk way faster than I could type. So I just started thinking, I'm like, why am I wasting my carpal tunnel fingers to type shit when I could just talk it? And so now I've been it's cool because I could like double dip, is that I'll vlog an idea, and then I'll reflect on it, and then I'll type it out or I'll blog it. So it's kind of nice because you kind of get this double dip where like you doing vlogging could give birth to a new creative idea, like while just talking nonsense to yourself, and you could type out whatever you want, and things kind of go hand in hand. So I think that the basic notion is this. To become the ultimate tech creator, epic individual, tech renaissance man or woman is not to get all these devices to just consume more, but to produce more. So let me give you an example. So first and foremost, I'm actually a big fan of vlogging. It's kind of funny because most people, when I meet them in my workshops or whatever, they're not like, yo, Eric, I love your blog. It's usually, I love your vlog, I love your YouTube channels and stuff like that. And then also, people recognize me by my voice, which is funny because I think I have a pretty generic voice. And also some people recognize my face. So to me, this is interesting because the best marketing you do for yourself is pimp out your face, your voice, and your name. So my name's Eric Kim. This is what I look like. You could probably do a 3D scan of me and hack into my future hypothetical iPhone, and your voice, which is obviously what you're doing right now. So even one thing that I find kind of interesting is people really into podcasts, right? I like podcasts too when I'm stuck in traffic and you just kind of want to listen to something interesting. So podcasts are cool. But the thing that's kind of still a little bit lacking in podcasts is like the lack of human faces and stuff like that. Now, once again, not to denigrate podcasts or audio, but I think for most people, we're kind of more interested in audio plus video. And there's a reason why, okay, let's assume they did Avengers audio only, they probably wouldn't have made like $100 billion, right? And so it seems the best way to maximize everything is to augment all parts of your creative ability and all parts of your creative soul. So that means to be a vlogger, make videos, be a writer, be a blogger, to be a photographer, a videographer, a writer, a dancer, somebody good at talking with people, a composer, a musician, a producer, somebody who could make beats, somebody who could do poetry or rap or whatever. So I think that's the ultimate goal. And actually, currently, I think the best, this is just my opinion, I think the best artist of all time is undoubtedly Kanye West. Consider, he started off as a producer, just making beats, then transformed into a rapper, and producers never become rappers, so that's pretty cool, right? So consider how epic that is. He could make his own beats and then rap over them. That's already made him like a trillion times more interesting, right? Then he kind of becomes, spokesperson, him like, George Bush don't care about black people, and I actually really care about that sentiment. So, he shares his opinion, so he kind of becomes like a spokesperson or a public figure. And also, like, his part poet, he's poetry through his reps. His part like religious, spiritual, he's all about that Jesus is king, spreading Christianity, gospel music, whatever. Part of it like, fashion icon, Yeezys, right? And so it seems that like, Kanye's in a, look at his wife, Kim Kardashian, right? So Kanye's got it all. And he's a genius working at such a high level that most of us basic human beings cannot understand him. And this is why a lot of people that like to talk shit about Kanye is that like they just don't get him because people's just too basic. You cannot, like, a basic person cannot understand a genius, right? And so once again, if people was just like, yo, Kanye, just stick to making music or beats or rap, like he would have never progressed to be as far as he wanted. And who knows, maybe he might be a politician one day, Yeezy for 2024 or whatever, right? So I would encourage you to not just be pigeonholed into any one sort of creative genre. There's like a quadrillion, million, bajillion things that you could do and you could become. And once again, I think it's lack of the idea that that's a thing. So like even for myself, right? Like most people know me for photography, whatever. I didn't know I was allowed to make beats. I didn't know I was allowed to do poetry. Like it's kind of one of those things is like, you don't know what you don't know until somebody's told you that. Like, for example, like even when I was in college, the thought of applying to an Ivy League didn't even apply to me. Like no one, and the sad thing is no one was ever like, yo, Eric, you're gonna apply to Harvard or Stanford or Ivies? Like no one even suggested that to me. So I'm like, whoa, look at that like knowledge gap. So I think a lot of people's, not lazy or stupid or whatever, it's just like the idea's never been incepted within them. So one of the big impetuses I do making these videos, I want to kind of just like share potentialities or share ideas that could be possible. Like even talking to my buddy Manny, who's a custodian of my in my apartment, his working class is like, cleaning houses and cleaning apartments. His son's is a plumber. His daughter's gonna be the dental assistant. I'm like, yo, Manny, he has another kid on the way. I'm like, yo, Manny, you should make your next kid study computer science so he could become the next, conqueror of the world, the Google CEO. So it's just kind of nice because like the thought didn't really even occur to him. And I'm like, yo, kids like to play with their phones. So he's like, yeah, that's true. So it's like, I was just kind of making the joke. I'm like, yo, you have one kid who could fix your teeth, one kid who could fix your plumbing, and one kid who could fix your computer. I'm like, that's like the ultimate, right? And so that's a pretty cool sentiment. So anyways, taking it back to the thing at hand, augment all of your creative capacities. And so perhaps to become the most hyperhuman possible is to maximize your art, your physical strength, become a power lifter, become the maximal philosopher, become the maximal producer, vlogger, YouTuber, blogger, writer, dancer, whatever it may be, and essentially become your own ideal, become the most epic you possible.